listening to the nation's premier source on health, beauty, and wellness. Detroit Nation with Dr. V. Elaine Arterberry. Lifestyle driven.
This is Dr. Elaine Arterberry for Detroit Nation, bringing you the latest in beauty, health, and wellness. Our goal at Detroit Nation is to focus on Detroiters who are impacting the nation for health, fitness, beauty, and wellness. I am absolutely delighted today that we have Christen Rochon. She is the publisher and blogger of Divas and Dorks. She is an influencer, tastemaker, beauty, fashion, and auto blogger, and committed to a digital lifestyle where style meets technology. Welcome, Christen. I'm so glad you're here. You have no idea. We have been waiting for you to come on the show.
I'm so excited to be here. Thank you so much for having me.
I want to hear all about blogging. So how did it start for you? I mean, you didn't start I want to be a blogger.
Right.
How did it start?
Honestly, I was in radio for 10 years before.
Oh, what were you doing in radio?
I was doing sales and marketing.
Okay.
So started here in Detroit, transferred, did CBS radio in Charlotte, North Carolina,
Oh, that's
and then
nice.
into New York.
Okay.
And long story short, loved what I did, but I wanted to do so much more that really focused on my passions, which was always fashion and technology. For years, I'd be online every morning at work, spending hours searching tech sites, fashion sites, and entertainment sites. And I was like, man, if it was a site that actually just had all three or just a little bit of all three,
right,
then it would cut my surfing in half. And I just decided to create something that I wish existed, which was Divas and Dorks.
How did you come up with the name Divas and Dorks?
I wanted it to really celebrate the duality in women. We're not just one thing. We're not just
We get
mothers.
accused of being divas a lot.
We get accused, but divas doesn't necessarily have to be a bad thing. I know
Right.
sometimes it gets a negative connotation, but it really isn't a bad thing. It's a woman who's assertive, or it's a woman who's confident, it's a woman who knows what she wants. And I think that every woman has a little bit of a diva and a little bit of a dork in them.
So what's the dork part?
The dork part, you could be dorky about sci-fi. You can be dorky about technology. You could be dorky about so many different things. So
Yeah.
it was never just all tech. It was never it was, you could be a diva about, you could be a librarian that just loves her stilettos, that loves Christian Louboutin shoes.
Right. Everybody does have this duality. I totally agree with you. And dork, a lot of women are really gadget. They really like gadgets.
Absolutely.
They're usually early adopters of gadgets.
A lot of tech companies and consumer electronic companies recognize that. So they realize how powerful the Divas and Dorks audience really is.
I think it's great. And you came up with it all on your own?
Yeah.
I think it's great. So I want to give a shout out to your high school because you are straight from Detroit. Where'd you go to high school?
Cass Technical
Yay!
High School. Class of 98.
Oh, that's wonderful. Okay, so tell me about your journey from corporate America to blogging. So you started blogging, and then what happened?
Well, I started the blog originally September 9th, 2009. Okay. In that process, I was actually transitioning from Charlotte to New York City. So I kind of let the site lay dormant. I really didn't focus my energy on it because I was moving to New York. And at that time, I said, okay, you know what? I'll do that. And, whatever I do with the site, I'll wait on it. Random story, I met a woman who worked at BET, randomly going to church on a train. She overheard a conversation I was having with my cousin and said, hey, you know what, I'm going to hang out with you because I've never been to this church before. Oh, wow. We got to talking. By the end of that Sunday, she invited me out to the BET Awards, which was in a month or something.
Okay.
At that time, Ford was doing a bloggers lounge. It was a bloggers experience. I kind of knew what bloggers were because I've seen some blog sites, but I've never experienced something like this before. Okay. And I said, well, I have a blog, so maybe I should write about it. That was my first blog post, kind of recapping that experience. And it was
being at the BET Awards and being in the blog room.
Yeah.
Oh, how cool.
And that's what really started my journey into blogging.
Oh my goodness. So how long were you blogging before you could develop yourself enough where you didn't have to go to work?
Well, literally it was 6 months. The BET
That
Awards,
is amazing.
Yeah, it was kind of insane. It was in June, and that was when I first published my first blog post. And then by December of that year, I had no more vacation time because I was getting so many opportunities where I was missing work, and I was literally
what
between.
What do you mean opportunities? People were calling you?
Yeah, because remember, there was no audience, there was no site that really talked or spoke to multicultural women about technology and style. So it was just a hotbed of, oh my goodness, we have this audience that we need to talk to. So brands were coming out the woodworks. I really didn't have to pitch myself because it was so many different brands that said, hey, we want to talk to you. We want to work with you. And from that experience, by December, I didn't have any more vacation time.
And so there you go.
And there you go. It was like, hey, gonna have
Well,
to take a leave.
speaking of how people consider you a literal tastemaker and influence, you're going to be speaking at Michigan State University for the Innovate State Series. I love you to death, but I am like a big U of M person. But it's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
Is that what all the golden here is about?
That's what all the golden here is about. Absolutely. But tell me about what you're doing at Michigan State.
Sure. Well, I'm really excited. It's really a full circle moment for me. Michigan State has a program called Innovate State where they celebrate technology and as well as entrepreneurism. And they've really pretty much brought this.
So kind of an alumni.
Yeah, well, it's not really an alumni thing.
Just
It's something.
anyone.
Yeah, they actually have an entrepreneur degree program
Oh,
at
wow.
Michigan State.
Okay.
So the Innovate State program is basically kind of merging the two together, and they have a speaker series every year. I'm kicking off the speaker series this year.
Oh, wow.
Just
You must
kind
be
of-
really proud.
I'm really excited.
That is really cool.
I'm really, of all the different experiences I've had, this is one of those experiences where I just can't believe
It is really coming full circle. Leaving Detroit, going to Charlotte, going to New York, and then getting honored back here in Michigan. That is
Yeah.
very cool.
Yeah, so it's really cool. It's going to be September 23rd at 7:00 p.m. at Michigan
Aw.
State. So,
Oh, how cool. Is your family coming?
of course. I told them, like, you all better be there.
Oh, wow. So the other thing is you're being awarded by WBLS Hot 97 Circle of
Yeah.
Sisters. What's that about?
Well, Circle of Sisters is a huge women's empowerment expo that has
Oh,
taken
okay.
place in New York for years.
Okay.
And they're actually honoring me as like a digital trailblazer, and that was really cool.
And this
because-
is local now for you in New York.
Yeah,
WBLS
yeah.
is a New York station.
Yeah,
Okay. Hot
so-
97. Is that pop? Is
yeah,
it?
well, that's hip hop. So that's
Okay.
like one of the most well-known hip
Oh,
hop
yeah.
stations like in the world.
Right.
So yeah, they're honoring me. I'm digital trailblazer, and I'm really
Aw.
excited because Divas and Dorks really just came from a spark of a small idea, and now it's become this.
Did you really think it would blow up like this?
Not
And in
at
6
all.
months?
Not at all. I just thought it was
This was
something.
a fun thing for you.
It was something for me to just kind of share the things that I loved, not really thinking it was going to garner an audience, let alone, partnerships and brand relationships and awards. So
I think that is so cool. You write a lot about the Digital Sorority Influence Network. What's that?
Well, digital sorority, it's basically a concept of a networking group, an influencer group that two of my friends and myself came up with. We noticed that there were a lot of different networking groups for women in blogging, women in, the beauty brands, that sort of thing. But there was no network that really dedicated to multicultural women of all backgrounds. And we saw a need that needed to be fulfilled. So we said, well, you know what? Let's create this influencer network so we can really support each other in the blogosphere. We can really help each other. We can use our influence to empower each other.
I saw that I think it must be two blogger friends of yours, actually sort of host like seminars. Is that part of it?
It
Where you
is.
actually help other people become
Absolutely.
bloggers? I love the fact that you give back because I look at it like, oh my God, I can't believe she did it. But if you were telling me, Elaine, do this, it would help other girls.
And that's important.
To do it.
That's important because I don't want people to make the same mistakes that I did. And I think that sharing and giving back is so important.
I think it's great. Well, we're going to switch gears. We're going to come back with our drivers of change for today. Thank you for tuning in to Detroit Nation.
You are listening to Detroit Nation with Dr. V. Elaine Arterberry, driving the nation in health, beauty, and wellness.
Drivers of Change, showcasing to the world the innovators from Detroit, Michigan, and the nation that are shaping the country. Hi, this is Dr. Elaine Arterberry with Detroit Nation. Our driver of change today is Naomi Sims. Naomi Sims was credited as the first African-American supermodel. She made fashion history. It was huge. She became the first African-American woman to be on the cover of the Ladies' Home Journal in 1968. She later launched the Naomi Sims collection, which started as a line of wigs, which grew to include fragrances, cosmetics, multiple books on beauty, modeling, and a true brand. She's really one of the first modern black women that developed her own multifaceted brand. So for that, she is today's driver of change. What do you think about her, Christen? I mean, back then in 68, did black women have a brand? Or
No.
could they develop a brand?
I think back then, black women were always and will always be drivers of change, and they'll always be influencers. And I think that she was just one of the first influencers that really gave the blueprint on being an entrepreneur and on capitalizing on your influence and on your brand.
Yeah, and this is before social media. So she was doing it in print and just appearances. I mean, she did it the old-fashioned way.
Yeah, she did. And I think she used her platform as being a model to make so much more of just her career.
Absolutely, and give her a very long career. Well, here at Detroit Nation, we have a passion for cars. I personally have a passion. In the intro, it's actually a Ferrari Testarossa. That's the sound.
Oh.
So when you drove up today in that Ford Mustang, I was like, oh, that's my girl. So tell me about Divas Drive in Heels. This thing that connecting women to the auto industry, I think is absolutely fascinating because I think women influence car purchases, and certainly black women in the household are deciding which car we're getting.
Absolutely.
Don't you think?
Absolutely. Women are such a huge component of the car buying process, not just being the head influencer of the household, but also being the one making those car buying decisions for the husband, for the kids.
Yeah,
and everything
they're
else in
usually
between.
ruling the roost on that one.
Exactly. So I decided to create Divas Drive in Heels just because I've always loved cars. Being from Detroit, Michigan, I learned how to drive at an early age. That was my thing. And then I was in sales for so long, and I actually drove in my high heels. So Divas Drive in Heels is not just a cute little thing. It's really my life for the most part. And really just wanted to create a space where women can talk about what they want to talk about and discover what they really truly want to discover about automobiles to kind of influence their next purchase.
Yeah, and you've got a brand relationship with Auto Trader. That seems like an unusual partnership. Tell me about that.
Yeah, I'm really excited.
Is it new?
It is very new.
Oh wow,
very new. Auto Trader reached out to me and wanted to partner with Divas Drive in Heels to just celebrate their new Drive-tastic program, which basically shows how easy it is to purchase a vehicle online. And I was really excited just to be considered for the opportunity, and it's been a great partnership thus far.
Oh, good. So what kind of things are you doing? You're just doing, well, I see you have a fabulous car.
Yeah.
Do you give away any cars? That's what I want to know.
I've never given away a car yet.
Okay.
Anybody interested? You reach divasanddoors.com. But
you'll come up with a concept.
Right. I would love to do something like that. I've hosted web series with brands where we did Escape to New Orleans with the Ford Escape, where we literally kind of highlighted the city of New Orleans and things to do.
How cool.
Did something with Toyota in New York, a girlfriend's getaway series. Most recently did Journey Your City with Lincoln.
I read about this Lincoln Black. Tell me about the Lincoln Drive experience. Everybody wants to drive. People who want to drive a Lincoln, I mean, it's very aspirational. I mean, it's a real sexy car. They made it even sexier. They're coming back with the big sedan with the suicide doors.
Yeah.
And they have a Lincoln Black series, it's sort of a lifestyle experience. So not only do you buy the car, you buy a lifestyle?
Yeah, it's the Lincoln Black Label experience, and it's really just kind of an upgraded experience for car ownership.
Okay.
And they have
Sort of having the black card of the Lincoln.
No, it really is.
Literally?
Because it gives you experiences like you get culinary experiences that is exclusive.
Just when you buy the car?
Just when you buy the
that's
vehicle.
cool.
Yeah. So it's like not only do you get an awesome ride with premium luxury leather and wood and just materials, but then you also get an upgraded experience that kind of sets you apart from someone that may have bought another brand. So
you get to do events and things like
yeah.
Oh wow, that is is that a new concept for Lincoln?
Yeah, Lincoln has really transitioned to reach out to an exclusive audience and an audience that loves the brand but also is looking for a little bit more. And now they're reaching people and car buyers who would look at BMW and look at
it's
Mercedes.
The same market, yeah.
Absolutely. So, and then I think it's a little sexier too. Like Lincoln is actually partnered with Empire, the show on Fox.
No.
Yes. They actually had a vehicle on their show last season, and they're doing a few more vehicles.
So they're having a lot of product placement on that show, which is a really popular
So that lets
thing.
you know that they're reaching out to an audience that a little bit different than the older consumer. They're
the historic Lincoln customer.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
Oh, I think that's wonderful. I saw on one of your websites that you had a picture with June Ambrose, the total fashionista. What was that like? What were you guys doing?
I met June a few different times. Most recently, it was with the Lincoln Journey Your City series.
Oh, she was part of that?
Yeah. Basically, the series was Lincoln and Essence magazine. We're looking for people interested and had a dream for fashion, music, as well as the arts. So the photography. And June Ambrose actually surprised one of the winners in New York and got a chance to sit down and talk with her and share her experience as a stylist and give her some very great tips as well.
Oh, I think that's great. What do you like best about blogging?
One thing that I love about blogging is no day's the same. Every day is
Seriously?
different. Every day is different. And you get out what you put in.
Okay.
So I'm a little bit obsessive about
Okay.
my blogs. Right now, they're my babies. And, but you see the output from that because I put in the hard work. I put in the long hours. And because it's a fun passion of mine,
Oh, clearly.
you get out. You get
So
out what
where
you
do
put
you
in.
get inspiration? I mean, some of it is new. You're talking about new things, new technology, new brands. But where do you personally get inspiration to blog about? Like, what inspires you? Is it magazines? Is it fashion? Or is it all of it?
It's a little bit of everything. I get a lot of inspiration from my family, and even some of my friends. Of course, everything you're going to find things trending online, Google, a lot of hot magazines, a lot of tech magazines.
Right.
But also, I have friends that call me all the time. Hey, how do I do this? And I think, oh, if you're trying to figure out how to do this, then I'm sure there are other people trying to figure it out as well.
Oh,
So I
absolutely.
should write about it. So I get a lot of my inspiration and help from them.
Well, some people, we were talking about this before the show, that some people in the beauty and fashion industry are a little upset about how the people who don't necessarily have aren't industry insiders have become tastemakers for fashion, for beauty, just by having an online site. And what do you think about that? People are upset because it's a different way of expressing and getting to a consumer. So what do you think about that? Because it's not print ads.
Right. It's not print. And
It's not beauty editors that
and
are
it's-
controlling the market any longer.
Right, and I don't think it's just people that just have a website. I think it's people that have influence and people that have an audience.
Okay.
And the only way that you can build influence and build an audience is you have to have information that's correct. And I think after a while, when people build that audience, you get a reputation for having good content and having information that's correct. And I think if you have the ear of the people and the people trust you, then of course beauty brands, fashion brands, they need to reach out to you
So
because
this really is almost like a relationship. So when you blog, it's like how you're talking to me, Elaine. This is a really good card because they do this. It has to be a trust relationship. If you don't blog correctly, what happens? I mean, if you don't blog accurately, what happens?
you lose a credibility.
Like a friend.
Absolutely. You lose the credibility and then you lose an audience. And if you don't have an audience, then you don't have influence. And if you don't have influence, then why would brands want to work with you? Or why would people trust what you have to say?
It's a really simple concept.
It
isn't
really is.
At
It
some
really is.
at some level, it's about trust. I understand that you do seminars with other bloggers to help people. Tell me, I want to know. I want to dive into that. What do you actually help people do?
Well, recently I've launched Act Like a Blogger, Think Like a Brand.
Oh, wow.
Which is basically
Ooh, I like that. Did you
Thank
did you trademark that?
I did. It's
Yeah,
actually,
Steve Harvey.
right. It really is just the way that a lot of bloggers, they love their blog, but they're having troubles monetizing it. And I mean, right, it goes from being a hobby to actually being something that they get paid from.
Right.
And they have that trouble making that step because
Do you think it's a hard step?
I think it is. I
Okay.
really do believe that it is. For me, it was easy because I spent 10 years selling for other
You already had a
brands.
sales background.
I did. So like all of the skill sets that I spent selling airtime and selling, experiences.
It came in handy.
It came in handy because now I just apply it to myself.
Right.
So that's what Act Like a Blogger, Think Like a Brand is. It's pretty much just a sales technique, and it's going to be a sales guide coming out soon, an e-guide.
Are you going to write a book?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
yeah.
Okay.
And just kind of giving bloggers step-by-step tools and ways that they can pitch themselves and close, sales for themselves.
Yeah, and make it work for themselves. I mean, and you started early though. You were kind of early in it.
Yeah.
Do you think it's as easy now to start in?
No,
I mean, no,
the
seriously,
market.
there weren't in 2009. There weren't as many blogs.
No, and especially tech blogs, and
Right.
I was the first female tech blog.
Right.
So now the market's so saturated that it's
Yeah.
difficult. But I tell all new bloggers, I said, well, you know what? People are going to want you for your voice. So you have to figure out if you're going to talk about fashion, then you have to have a unique voice talking about fashion because there are millions of other bloggers out there talking about fashion.
Right.
What's going to
or
make
beauty,
you special?
or any of it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So it's all about authenticity, and it's all about being you and being your unique self.
I think that's great. This is a point in the show that we call the lifestyle-driven moment. So we're going to ask Christen, what is the one lifestyle thing that she does every day or that she wants to share with our listening audience? It could be beauty, could be wellness, could be fashion, or in this case, it could be cars.
It's funny. It's actually something that kind of crosses over everything, and I think it's really more spirituality. Every day I just thank God and just kind of thank him for what has happened thus far. Because one thing that you don't realize is everything can be gone tomorrow. And if you don't show appreciation or gratitude, then you're basically just taking you're just kind of just taking advantage of the moments and of the blessings. So
Right.
that's one thing that I do every day. And then I just ask them, just let me know that I'm in your will and that I'm doing the things that you want me to do. And as long as I'm doing that, I'm okay.
Oh, that is a great lifestyle-driven moment. What do you think the future of blogging is? Where do you think this is going? I mean, do you think that we're going to get all our information from bloggers and people are going to stop reading magazines?
Absolutely. I think
You do? I think so, too.
The future is really going to be getting content immediately, getting fast churned out content that you can use immediately. And I think right now the blogging platform is what's leading the way. Soon you'll have like push notifications, and you have it now. I get my news from CNN on my Apple Watch. I rarely go online to watch CNN. Anytime there's breaking news, I used to go to Twitter,
Right.
but now I get the notifications directly on my watch. So it's like, I think whoever's able to get out content immediately, concise, and straight to the consumer in the most efficient way possible, they're going to win.
Those people are going to win. So
They're gonna
it's
win.
going to be the instant. It's almost like microwave information. People don't want to wait for information anymore. They want it instantaneously.
Yeah, we kind of got spoiled.
You think so? I think it's true. Well, I really do. You were at Blogalicious with Toyota. Tell me about that. Did that help you become a better blogger?
Yeah, that experience was amazing because I've been to Blogalicious before just as a blogger, but this time I was there as
And what is Blogalicious exactly?
Blog-
It sounds great, like Bootylicious.
It's
But
juicy.
It sounds kind of juicy.
Blogalicious is a multicultural blogging conference that takes place every year. This year
Okay.
it was in Baltimore, Maryland. And Toyota was a sponsor,
Okay.
and they asked and invited me to come out as a blog ambassador.
Okay.
I actually taught a panel, which I
Ooh.
was teaching about monetization of your websites
Okay.
and just branding. It was called $1 Billion Branding, and then I spoke on Act Like a Blogger, Think Like a Brand.
Right.
And then also afterwards, I held office hours or help desk hours
Oh, how
with
cool.
Toyota, where I had one-on-one sessions with bloggers, and they came with tons of questions.
Oh, I can imagine.
So
I can
yeah,
imagine.
that was a lot of fun, and it was a great experience. Not only did I get a chance to work with Toyota again, but I got a chance to talk one-on-one with a lot of bloggers, and then having brainstorming opportunities and just coming up with creative ways to help each of the brands create and monetize their sites.
Oh, I think that's wonderful. I really like the fact that you're focusing on women and empowering women. How do you think your sites empower women?
I think the
I
site
think that's a mission of yours, from what I can tell.
absolutely because they honestly, Black women were such an underserved community in technology, in automotive, and I think even in travel. I think that there were a lot of brands and a lot of opportunities that we were missing out on because they weren't focused on us. It was my mission to really just kind of grab those opportunities and grab those important moments and say, hey, we matter. You need to talk to us. You need to see what we have to say because we're spending money, and we could be spending money with you, brands.
And
if you
spending
talk
more
to us.
money.
Absolutely. So it was really just an opportunity for me to shine a light on technology, automotive, to women just like me and just like you.
I think it's great. What do you think? What would be your ultimate brand partnership? If you could structure it, what would it be?
Oh, my goodness. I would
And
love
who would it be with?
You know what? I have to be honest. I am a huge Apple fan.
Really?
A huge Apple. Now, I'll say this. Samsung sent me to the Olympics in 2012.
Hey, I'm not mad at you.
I love Samsung. I was an early adopter to Samsung, but I'm a huge Apple fan, and I would love to have a brand opportunity or brand ambassadorship with Apple because I am literally a fangirl.
Well, you have an Apple Watch.
I do.
You have everything Apple?
I do. I was just at Best Buy about to get a new MacBook, and I'm like, no, let me hold off because mine works perfectly fine right now. But yeah, I'm a huge fan.
What would you say to young bloggers starting out? What advice would you give them?
Young bloggers, I tell them all the time, you have to have an authentic voice and you have to be yourself because that's what people are going to gravitate to. You have to be different because that's what people are going to gravitate to. You can't be like everyone else because then you're just going to fall into the wayside of being a blogger just like everybody else. And you don't want to do that.
Right. Oh, no, I don't think so. Tell me, what is your feeling about what's going on in Detroit? I know you live in New York now, but you are a true Detroiter. What do you think about Detroit and beauty and fashion? Do you think it can come around? I believe that there is a huge undercurrent of people that are committed to beauty, health, wellness, fashion, all of it. What do you think? Coming, having that perspective of living in New York, but coming from Detroit.
Well,
is it real?
It is, and I'll be honest. I'm actually a transitioning Detroiter, so I'm coming back home. And
You're coming back home when?
Yeah, that's, I'm in the process of trying to find a home, and that's very important to me because I think that the opportunity in Detroit and the things that are going on in Detroit is huge.
Are you telling me you might leave New York and come back?
Absolutely.
Well, I was in New York a couple of weeks ago, and spray painted on the Brooklyn Bridge was moved to Detroit.
I'm telling you, Detroit is really like the new Mecca. There's so many people like talking about coming to Detroit and moving to Detroit that are outside of Detroit. It's if you are not in Detroit now, then you need to hurry up and get here because
is that really the buzz in New York? And
really
you're in New York, you're right in the mix.
It is the huge buzz. I mean, I was in Harlem for so long and have seen the changes, and even with Brooklyn and even with Soho, you see the changes and you see the similarities going on right here in Detroit. And it's literally like, okay, you see what's going on. Are you going to make a move, or are you going to just wait and see what happens?
I would be delighted if you would come back and be our ambassador for beauty, health, and fashion and wellness. How about that Tracy Reese? I saw that you were at Fashion Week.
I was at Fashion
You were
Week,
at Fashion Week in New York. Is it still going on?
No, it's actually London Fashion Week is now.
Oh, it's London now.
Yeah,
okay,
no, it's
so
London.
you were in Fashion Week at Fashion Week with Tracy Reese. Tell me about that.
I mean, it's amazing that I've gone to her shows for a few seasons now, and her collections are always amazing. I joked with her, I said, hey,
Did you know her before in
No,
Detroit?
I did not.
Okay.
But I recently, probably about 4 or 5 years, realized we went to the same high school.
Oh,
I was
wow,
like, hey,
that's
girl,
cool.
Castaic.
Everybody went to Castaic. That's why I mentioned it.
Right. So she was like, hey, technician. So that's like our
that's
thing.
Cute.
And she's really nice. Her collections are always amazing. I'm still salivating over her fall collection because it was drop dead gorgeous. And even her new spring collection is absolutely beautiful.
And you got to be right on the runway?
Yeah,
what was that like?
Her shows, after you do one runway, you have such a high expectation, and she never disappoints.
Oh, wow.
Never disappoints.
That is so
From the backstage
cool.
area, all the excitement, to the runway show itself, it was an absolutely immaculate experience.
I am still wigged out that you're going to move to Detroit. I believe it's so great to hear it because I was telling you I have a lot of new neighbors that are from, different cities that are moving to the block. And I'm like, really? It's a real Mecca now.
No, it really is.
I don't think it's fake.
It really is. And the thing is, people here don't really hear it. But outside, New York, other cities, LA, people know. Right. Detroit is going to be the next best thing.
Well, we only have a few more minutes, so I want you to tell me just a snippet about, because you have a lot of different blogs. We got Divas and Dorks, Divas Driving Heels. So tell me about the rest of them.
All right. We have divasandorks.com, style meets technology for the modern woman. We have Divas Driving Heels, which is our automotive channel. Divas on Destinations, which is our travel channel. So we actually do, travel excursions, share packing tips, share domestic trips, all the good stuff. Then we also have coming soon Divas and Forks, which will be for all our wonderful foodies out there.
We're getting 20 new restaurants in Detroit next year.
Yes, you can busy.
Good, you're going to be busy.
Very busy. And then for the mommies who just love to be fabulous but also have to change diapers, we got Divas and Diapers coming soon. Also do some things with small businesses, helping them with social media. Company called Social Media Unfiltered. Working, of course, with Divas, not Divas,
right.
Digital Sorority, which is our female influencer group. And then a few other brands. And, of course, Act Like a Blogger, Think Like a Brand.
I cannot wait till that book comes out. That's going to be a runaway hit. The other thing I wanted to ask you about is, do you see yourself, you're so personable, you're so beautiful, you have such style. Do you ever see, to me, this is almost like ready for television.
We
did a little Periscope here, but you don't want to do anything else? What else are you going to do? I mean, you've got like 6 blogs, okay? So what's next?
The blog thing is keeping me busy. I'm definitely open to television opportunities. I'm just right now just really focused on building the brand and keeping up with everything going on and digital sorority and just growing and learning and
I think that's great.
Loving every moment along the way.
I think it's wonderful. I just wanted to figure out what else you have up your sleeve. It's quite a lot. But it sounds like you're busy with your auto. I'm an auto person, so I'm like, oh my God, she loves cars like me. I knew there was somebody in the city that liked beauty, health, wellness, and cars.
It's a lot of us.
Yeah. Well, women we're so into fashion, beauty, and why not have a beautiful car? And some of these cars you can bespoke a little bit. You can get what you want on the inside. You can pick it ahead of time. That's very
cool. It's all about customizing everything.
Yeah. People want everything personalized, don't they? Nobody wants just what's on the shelf anymore. No. So I am just delighted that you're here today. I just am looking forward to following your career. Thank you to Christen Rochon from Divas and Dorks and her multiple blog site. She is a tastemaker, influencer, blogger, and vlogger.
And
Actually, you do both.
I do both.
You do both. And she is really helping other bloggers create their new destiny. Thank you for joining us today. And as usual, come back to Detroit Nation next week for all the information on beauty, health, wellness coming out of Detroit but influencing the nation. Follow us on 313 Nation Radio on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. We'll see you next week. Thank you, Christen, for being here. It's great.
Thank you for having me.
Bye-bye.
Detroit Nation with Dr. V. Elaine Arterberry, driving the nation to health, beauty, and wellness. Lifestyle driven.
FM 88.1.